And in Washington, D.C., protesters from an anti-war group Jewish Voice for Peace have staged a sit-in inside a congressional building. The demonstrators are calling for an immediate ceasefire as the death toll rises in Gaza. Some protesters wore shirts with the words "Not in our name." Patty Culhane has more from Capitol Hill.
Protesters are taking the pro-Palestinian cause to the U.S. Capitol here in the Cannon House office building. This is where members of Congress and their staff, many of them, have their offices. This happened earlier in the day. I'd say about 5 dozen, maybe 6 dozen activists wearing T-shirts that say "Not in our name," Jews say a ceasefire now, came into Cannon chanting. They knew they would be arrested. Now, this all started at a protest just a few blocks away earlier in the day. More than 1,000 people of really all faiths came out. But I did talk to one gentleman. He said his grandparents survived the Holocaust, helped build Israel, but now he says he felt the need to come out because he does not believe what the people of his own religion are doing to the Palestinians.
I see my job as carrying on their legacy as Jews who fundamentally see their role as standing up for stateless and oppressed people all throughout the world. And I see no better way to do that than fighting for peace and a ceasefire in Gaza today.
Now, as we take one more look as the crowd, as they start to get arrested one by one, being put in zip ties, this is going to be a misdemeanor. They're unlikely to face any sort of jail time. They'll probably pay a fine. But just to give you a sense of how different this sentiment is from those of the elected officials in these buildings, there was a resolution by one representative asking Joe Biden, the U.S. president, to call for a ceasefire in Gaza. In all, 13 members of Congress agreed. Patty Culhane, Al Jazeera at the U.S. Capitol.